All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session of Prerna Schemes General Engineering with me. I'm Professor Atksha Sharma. And so far, we have covered the parts of speech, that is, verb, noun, adjective, adverb, pronoun, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Today, I've got another very interesting topic for you all, that is phrases and idioms. Okay. So I hope you'll all enjoy today's lesson as well. Let's get started. Started with the idioms. What are idioms? So idioms are nothing but they are the collection of words or phrases, okay, which have figurative meaning. Now, figurative meaning means like it represents some figure, okay. It is there. It is established already. People know about it. So it's like that. It's not new. The phrase is not like new to people. It is there. So idioms are those collection of words which are well established out there. Okay, so these words can't be taken at their literal meaning. Okay, literally whatever we are writing as an idiom, you can't take that as it is. Okay, so you have to think of the actual meaning behind that sentence or that idiom. Okay, so you can't take it literally. Okay, so idioms at times seems grammatically very unusual as well, many times. So, but where you can use idioms, idioms are very useful in linguistic when you speak it. So while speaking, idioms play a very vital role in improving your conversation, in improving your feeling or emotion that you are expressing. Okay, so they add life and color to your courses, to your sentences, to your conversation. It allows the author, basically author uses idioms a lot, like while writing their novels or while writing their books or their blogs. So they use idioms more. How authors like to play with words. Okay, if you know more, like many more idioms, which you will know by the end of today's lesson, so you will know how to use those idioms in your like day-to-day conversation, or how to understand if somebody is using an idiom. So what's the meaning behind that? Or else if you get an idiom like in the in your gate examination, in that point of view, if we say, so you should know if question has an idiom in it, so what does it mean? What is the meaning behind of that idiom? So what happens is authors, it allows authors to play with words and make it an interesting read rather than straightforward boring paragraphs. Okay, so basically authors use idioms more often. Okay, so idioms are often used in stories, poems, and even in spoken words. The origin of idioms are not always known. We don't know, like if somebody is saying some idiom, we don't know where the origin of that idiom is, like where that idiom came from. Okay, but they said to originate from stories and creative writing. When people do creative writing, they come up with more idioms, very interesting idioms, and are modified. They are modified over time. You will see, I'll give you examples, many examples now in coming, now in this, like in this hour, in this session, I'll give you many examples how idioms work. Okay, and how you should grasp the meaning of an idiom. So we'll start with few examples of idiom. You know what idioms are? Idioms are, I'll repeat again, idioms are the collection of words or phrases which are already established out there. You don't have to take literally what it is. Okay, you don't have to take it. You have to know the meaning behind of an idiom. Like for example, there's an idiom over here, I have written it, beat around the bush. Okay, so literally you don't have to go and beat somebody or beat yourself into the bush. Okay, you don't have to do this. You don't have to go literally with it, with this idiom, but you need to try to understand what is the meaning behind this idiom. So you don't have to go literal, you have to go with the meaning, the feeling behind it. So beat around the bush is nothing but when a person tries to avoid that particular situation or that particular subject or that particular topic. Okay. So for example, I can give you like uh, I am telling this to my students. I'm not telling, I'm saying this to my students that don't beat around the bushes and tell me what happened to your homework. When students often try to, make excuses, try to avoid the conversation, try to, hide themselves behind their words. So they're like, trying to buy the time or trying to, divert the conversation. So a person who understands it will say, okay, stop beating around the bush and tell me what it is. So that's the meaning of that idiom. Okay. So another example I have written, penny for your thoughts. So penny for your thoughts is like you were asking someone that what actually is going on in their mind. Okay, what's in their head. Okay, so what's your thought? Can I have a penny for your thoughts? That means you're asking someone. Okay, so now we're gonna learn few idioms. I'll tell you, you should get ready with your notebook and pen and you should note it down, you should jot it down because this will help you throughout. Okay, whenever, wherever you feel like you can use it, it will obviously enhance your conversation, it will enhance your writing if you're writing something and if you're using idioms in it. And if a person have a good knowledge in English language, then they will grasp it, they'll know that you have used idioms and at a proper place. So that will be very, very impressive. So if you want to impress your English teacher, then go with idioms in your essay writing or in your any writing. All right. So moving on, the next one over here I've written is burning the midnight oil. So burning the midnight oil doesn't mean that you are, if I'll say it in Hindi, तो तुम्हें दिया लगा के बैठना है ऐसा नहीं है रात में. इसका meaning ये नहीं है. You're not burning the midnight oil. Literally, the meaning is that you are working hard, okay, or you are doing labor, hard work in the middle of the night or in late night. So it is the meaning of the idiom. Okay, the meaning behind, the meaning hidden behind the idiom. So the next one is, I hope you all have heard this many times. I really do. I think that you have heard it, and I know you have heard this before as well. So that one goes as judge a book by its cover. So judge a book by its cover means you rely on the outward appearance of something, anything. Okay, like don't judge that boy. Like you, if you're judging someone, then like if you're judging a person like by whatever he's portraying, action, okay, anger. So you can't just judge it that okay, fine, he's very aggressive. Okay, we should stay away from him. So it's not like that. You don't know his situation. So what you will say, what a person will say that don't judge a book by its cover. He might be a good person, right? So there you can use this idiom. Anyhow, moving on. This one is my my personal favorite, and it is very fun to say. It's very fun to use. It goes as takes two to tango, or you can say it takes two to tango, or takes two to tango. Very casually, very generally. So what is the meaning behind this? Takes two to tango means more than one person. Okay, not just one person, but more than one person is involved in that particular activity or in that particular situation. More than one person was involved. So most deeds, action, misdeeds require participation from two people at least, right? So it's like that. Stick to tango. Okay. तो एक अकेले से नहीं होने वाला था ये, तो दो जनों ने किया है ये काम. It goes like that. Okay, it can be positive, it can be negative, it depends on which situation you are using it. Okay, it takes two to tango. Fun to say. You can repeat it after me. Okay, so go with the idioms. Here are few more examples of idioms. I'll teach you how to use it, okay, and what's the meaning behind it. If you are reading this idioms anywhere in your examination paragraphs, you know, you when you have competitive examination, paragraphs are given, English paragraphs, and you have to read it, and then you have to answer the questions. So if idioms are written in it, so you should know what's the meaning behind it. So we'll go with few examples. You will find it very interesting. You will learn it, okay? And this is like, these all are my personal favorite. Try to use it, like whatever we are going to learn or whatever we are learning right now, try to incorporate it in your conversation. कहीं पर भी चलेगा, तुम सेंटेंस के पहले बोलो, बाद में बोलो, लेकिन बस इतना है कि सही टाइम पे सही इडियम बोलना चाहिए. तो ऐसा नहीं कि गलत टाइम पे तुम गलत इडियम बोल रहे हो, so that will, you know, that will ruin your conversation, and you don't want that, right? Exactly. So first one, then we'll go with a blessing in disguise. Okay, a blessing in disguise means a good thing that seemed bad at first. कोई भी अच्छा काम हो सकता है किसी चीज के होने से, लेकिन हमें उस वक्त क्या लगता है कि नहीं, ये गलत हो गया हमारे साथ. So what you can say is a blessing in disguise. Okay, try to repeat after me, try to note it down in your book. Okay, this will be helpful, very helpful. All right, so I'll give you an example for this. Losing that job was a blessing in disguise. Like if somebody was struggling very much in her or his job, so अगर वो job से उसको निकाल दिया गया है, तो उस वक्त उसे ऐसा लगेगा, ओ लाइक माई लाइफ इज रूइंड एंड मेरे को जॉब से निकाल दिया, आई एम सो अपसेट. लेकिन अगर उसको थोड़े टाइम बाद उससे बेहतर जॉब मिल रहा है, तो अच्छा हुआ ना कि वो जॉब उसकी छूट गई. तो उसने क्या किया, ही वर्कड हार्ड, ही सर्च्ड फॉर अनदर जॉब एंड नाउ ही इज एट अ गुड पोजीशन. सो दैट वाज ए ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज. ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड? आई होप यू डिड. Moving on, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Okay, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That means a picture tells you a story just as well as, if not better than, written words. Okay, just by looking at the picture, you should know what it is trying to convey. And you might have heard this before as well. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So I'll give you an example for this. Please, could you sketch out a floor plan? A picture is worth 1,000 words. Now, if somebody is trying to, you know, explain you floor plan orally, you will not understand where the room is, where the kitchen is, and where the balcony is, etc., etc. But if somebody is giving you the floor plan, you know, a design of it, then you will be like, you will understand it in a better way. So that's how it works. A picture is worth 1,000 words. It can be anything, anything. Then this one is another favorite one of mine. It's very sweet and very easy to say, and it can be used a lot. A piece of cake. Repeat after me, a piece of cake. So it is really easy. Piece of cake means very easy. It was very easy, really easy. So how you can say, suppose you have your gate examination and you performed well. So what you will say after coming out from the examination hall, you will say, that exam was a piece of cake. You know, I cleared it like that. That exam was a piece of cake. All right. I hope you should say this like after giving your actual gate examination. All right. Moving on. Action speaks louder than words. Yes, you all have heard it. You all have used it many times. I know that. If not, then do use it. It is a very nice saying, a very nice idiom. It goes as, action speaks louder than words. So what someone actually does mean more than what they say they will do. Okay, so this means that I'll give you an example. I'm going to wait for him to show me he loves me because action speaks louder than words, right? Or else I can give you another example. I'll wait and see how you perform in your examination. Action speaks louder than words. Okay, so you don't have to come to me and say, no, ma'am, I'll perform great in my examination. So I'll say, stop. I'll see your results. Action speaks louder than words, right? Okay. I hope you all Are with me? Okay, moving on. Add insult to injury. Add insult to injury. It means to act in a way that makes a bad situation worse. Okay, even bad. So, uh, uh, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but in Hindi it should be "Jale pe namak छिड़कना." So it's like that, I think. Anyway, so it's like adding insults to injury is like you're making the situation worse. Okay, whatever it is, you're making it bad, more bad. Okay, so I'll give you an example of it. I was late, and to add to the injury, I forgot my key. Anyway, I was running late, और ऊपर से क्या हो गया that I forgot my keys. Oof, oof. I added insults to injury. It goes like that. Next one is as cheap as chips. Okay, repeat after me. As cheap as chips. Very easy. So it means really cheap, really, really cheap, like really, like it uses less economy. Yeah, you can say that. So example of it is, don't worry about paying me back. They were as cheap as chips. For example, if you're buying your friend something, a shoe, a pair of shoe, for example, so if your friend is paying you back, तो तुम्हें अगर उनसे पैसे नहीं लेना है तो तुम क्या बोलोगे? Don't worry about paying me back. They were as cheap as chips. Okay, so it goes like that. The next one is barking. Okay, what have all we covered? I'll just tick. A blessing in disguise, a picture is worth 1,000 words, a piece of cake. Okay, go up. Then action speaks louder than words, add insult to injury, as cheap as chips. The next one is barking up the wrong tree. So barking up the wrong tree means to be wrong about the way to achieve something or the reason for something. Okay, to be wrong about it. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Like if you're reading something, or if you are, okay, I'll give you an example straightforwardly. I think you are barking up the wrong tree. Rather than reading the textbook cover to cover, you should try another method. Okay, so how it goes as, I think you are barking up the wrong tree. Rather than reading the textbook cover to cover, you should try other method. Like एक बुक पूरी फ्रंट पेज से लास्ट पेज तक पढ़ने के बजाय तुम दूसरा मेथड भी ट्राई कर सकते हो. आई थिंक यू आर डूइंग इट रॉन्ग. ठीक है, ऐसे नहीं करो. अगर दूसरा मेथड करोगे इट विल कंज्यूम लेस टाइम. सो इट्स लाइक दैट. ओके, so barking up the wrong tree. Then beat around the bush. Okay, I have written it again and we have already covered it. So I'll just tick it, done with it. Then better late than never. Again, an interesting one and a very good one. Okay, if you guys are not able to understand what I'm saying, you can just text, you can just write it down in the chat box that if you want me to use more Hindi, I'll do that. Or else if you're comfortable with me using English more, then I'll continue with it. Okay, if anybody have any problem, then please write it down in the text box. Okay, so better late than never. Better late than never. You can write it down. You can tell me now. Okay, so I just gave you the example of better late than never, now and here itself. So it means it is better to arrive or do something later than expected, than to not arrive or not do something at all. Okay, so for example, if you're waiting for someone and if that person is not coming and finally she shows up, so what can you say? Wow, she finally turned up. Better late than never. Wow, she finally turned up. Better late than never. Okay, all right. So the last one from this list, from on this slide, is Bite off more than you can chew. Bite off more than you can chew. Okay, I'll tell you what it means. It means to try to do something that is too difficult or too much for you. Okay, bite off more than you can chew. So, an example of this is I have bitten off more than I can chew with this session, I can say. Or with my project, you can say, with anything. Like you have done so many things, like partially you have done many things, so many things are going on, like you have done this, you have done that, many things are going on simultaneously, and nothing is finishing, like you are not able to finish anything and you have started many things. So जितना तुम कर सकते हो उससे ज्यादा तुमने शुरू कर दिया है, तुम्हारी कैपेबिलिटी से ज्यादा. तो इट्स लाइक bite off more than you can chew. Okay, so I have bitten off more than I can chew with my project, final year project. I hope your final year projects are going great. I hope so. All right, moving on. It takes two to tango. I've told you this, I've explained you this. This one is a beautiful idiom, and English language is filled with idioms. You have no idea, there are thousands and thousands of idioms out there. And I personally like their meanings. I like the way they sound, very nice, and they refer to beautiful things, like any idiom. You can pick any idiom, they're just beautiful. And and let's just face it, some of them are really really fun to say. It takes two to tango. All right. So and it improves your vocabulary as well. So I just love the way it sounds. It takes two to tango. Okay, so I told you it means both parties or people involved in a situation, okay, are equally responsible for it. Example, we need to come to a compromise here. It takes two to tango after all. Okay, so it goes like that. Another one is every cloud has a silver lining. So it means every difficult or sad situation has a comforting or more peaceful aspect, even though this may not be immediately apparent. Like, uh, I'll give you an example. It's a nice way of expressing seeing the positive side of something, or seeing something positive that will come later on as a result of something negative. I hope you're getting me, or if not, then I'll explain it. I'll give you an example of it. So the example goes as, I was so upset that I failed that first interview, but now I have my dream job. Every cloud has a silver lining. Understood? I'll repeat an example once again. I was so upset that I failed that first interview, but now I have my dream job. Every cloud has a silver lining. Okay? All right. I hope you all are with me still. Okay. Then to burn the midnight oil, I have already used it. So we are done with it takes two to tango. Every cloud has silver lining. To burn the midnight oil. Now, to burn the candle at both ends. So, to burn the candle at both ends means to work or to do something from very early in the morning to very late at night, thus getting very, very little rest. Okay, if you are, you're waking up early in the morning for your studies, and then you're going to college, you are studying a whole day, and then you're going for your tuitions, and there you are studying, and you're working entire day, you are doing you are engaging yourself in some or the other things and getting very very little, very few time to rest. So what you can say that, what idiom you can use in this situation? To burn the candle at both ends. Okay, example of this is, I was worried about I was worried about my friend this summer because he was burning the candle at both ends. Like in summer vacation, your friend did something so many things. He did so many things that he was not able to rest. So he burned the candle at both ends. This is how it works. The next one is water under the bridge, used to refer to events that are in the past and consequently no longer to be regarded as important. Something that has already happened and now it does not hold much of a significance. So example of this is, yes, we did have our disagreements, but that's water under the bridge now. यानी हमारा डिसएग्रीमेंट हुआ था, मुझे पता है, मुझे याद है, बट अभी it's water under the bridge. Now we are good. We both are good to go. Understood? All right. So next one is to wear your heart on your sleeves. To wear your heart on your sleeve. That means to openly share your feelings. Openly say whatever you are feeling or whatever is there in your mind and your heart. The example of this is, I wear my heart on my sleeves. I'm not afraid to tell someone if they are wrong. Okay, so you should be that bold, I can say sometimes, but not always. It can obviously put you in a difficult situation. Okay, so moving on, the next one is lovely weather for ducks. Lovely weather for ducks. I'll tell you what it means. It sounds funny, but lovely weather for ducks. It's a humorous phrase for very wet or very rainy weather. Okay, so if you don't like rainy season, then this is for you. So lovely weather for ducks. So an example of it is going to be lovely weather for ducks now. As you can see today, like in Nagpur, it's slightly cloudy. So you can use this if you don't like rainy season or rain much. Then you can use it. It's going to be a lovely weather for ducks, but not for me. Okay. All right. So moving on to burn your bridges. To burn your bridges. The act of unpleasant and permanently ending relations with other person or organization. Completely ending your relationship. So an example of it is, I'm so glad I didn't burn up my bridges with my old boss because she just offered me an amazing new job in her new company. That is so good. That is so good for her. Because what if अगर उसने अपने पुराने बॉस से खराब टर्म्स पे पाठ किया होता वेज, तो अभी उसको अच्छा जॉब नहीं ऑफर हुआ होता, राइट? सो यू शुड ऑलवेज बी गुड टू पीपल. तुम्हें नहीं पता कब किसका काम पड़ जाए. Okay, in a good way, in a good way. Okay, so the example is, I'm so glad I didn't burn up my bridges with my old boss because she just offered me an amazing new job in her new company. The next one is variety of, okay, lovely weather products done, to burn your bridges done, variety of spice of life, variety of the spice of life. Okay, it is new and exciting experience make life more interesting, you know, adding more spice to your life. It goes like that. So example of it is, I never like to visit the same restaurant twice because variety is the spice of life. Okay, I'll repeat it again. I never like to visit the same restaurant twice because variety is the spice of life. Yeah, you should always keep on changing. You should always keep on, you know, experiencing new things, new places, new restaurants. Okay. So we are done with this. The last one is to lend an ear. To lend an ear. So to lend an ear means to listen to somebody with sympathy. When you have your friend and you know that he needs somebody to talk to, then you can always lend your ear to him or to her. Okay, so to lend an ear, I'll give you an example for this. It means take my mobile number. I'm always here to lend an ear for you if you need one. Okay, you can say this to your friend. It's very polite. It's very kind of an act, and it is very, you know, warm thing to say to someone. Take my mobile number. I'm always here to lend an ear if you need one. I'm here to listen to anything you want to say, and I'm here to listen to anything you want to say related to English, related to this session. I can lend you an ear. my ear. So you can ask me anything if you have any doubt, if you have any query. All right. So moving on, the next slide is phrases. So phrases, I hope you know what idioms are. Now uh, we saw a few examples of it. I've explained you what it means. So now we'll see what phrases means. Okay. So phrases is a small group of words that are like unit. It's it's a complete unit. It's whole in itself. Okay, it's not half. You don't need another thing to add to complete the sentence, to complete a phrase. Okay, you don't need anything to add on. Okay, it is a unit in itself. Okay, these units are a part of bigger sentence or clause. How I'll show you. Like I'll give you an example of these as well. Phrases are unlike idioms. They are actually direct and to the point. Like idioms, we were not really beating around the bushes, but yeah, we need to find the meaning behind it. Okay, we can't go literally what it says. So phrases, whereas it is very direct, it is to the point, accurate, exact. Whatever you want to say, phrases are like you just say things that are in your mind. Exactly. So they do not figurative meanings. The expression means what the word indicates. Okay, whatever the word indicates, it means that. कोई भी मीनिंग बिहाइंड द सीन वाला यहाँ पे चीज nahi hai, unlike in idioms. Okay, so a phrase, unlike a complete sentence, does not have a subject and a verb, so it does not express a complete sentence. They are not a complete sentence as such, they are a unit of a complete sentence. Okay, so broadly there are 8 type of phrases: noun, verb, infinitive, gerund, then appositive, participle, prepositional, and absolute phrase. Okay, we'll see what these phrases are. Here I have given some examples of it. So noun phrase consists of a noun and all its modifiers. So I have highlighted the phrases, noun phrases over here, and you can, just uh, learn from these examples. I'll tell you the like easy one we'll start with. It was a story as old as time. Okay, a story now as old as time. Okay, a noun phrase it is. Then moving on to the verb phrase. So verb phrase obviously says verb phrase, so we have verb in it and all its modifier. Another example of like we have example of it. I'll give you one of the example. Anything, you might enjoy a message. You might enjoy a message. Or he was eager to eat dinner. Okay, we have verb over here, and we have a phrase. Now, uh, it's gerund. Okay, gerund phrase means uh, it's simply a noun phrase that starts with a gerund. Example: taking my dog for a walk is fun. Taking my dog for a walk is fun. It's always fun to take my dog for a walk. Okay, if you have one, then you will experience the same. So moving on, infinitive phrase. Infinitive phrases are nothing but is a noun phrase that begins with an infinitive verb. So for example, it begins with infinitive verb means I've written, I'll just go with the first example. To make lemonade, you have to start with lemons. To make lemonade, you have to start with lemons. Okay, so a positive phrase is nothing but it restarts and defines a noun. It consists of one or more words. Okay, my favorite pastime. My favorite pastime, one or more word. You can write anything. Needle point surprises some people. My favorite pastime, little point, surprises some people. Okay, you don't have to do this, but and it is not my personal favorite pastime, but this is an example written here. Uh, okay, so moving on, participle phrase. Participle phrases are nothing but phrases that begins with a past or present participle. Okay, so past example is over here. Washed with my clothes, my cell phone no longer worked. What did I do? I just washed my phone with my clothes. Oh, stupid me. So now it's not working. So you can say this: washed with my clothes, my cell phone not working anymore, or my cell phone no longer worked. Past tense. Now, prepositional phrase are nothing but phrases which begins with a preposition and it can act as a noun. It can act as a noun. So examples are the book was on the table, we camped by the brook, he knew it was over the rainbow or the window I was saying. So yeah, it can go with rainbow or window. So these are the few example of prepositional phrase. Okay. So I've told you prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and can act as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. Anything. Okay, the last one is absolute phrase. So absolute phrase has a subject. Always it has a subject, but not an action verb. So it cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. What it does, it modifies the sentence. It does not stand as a complete sentence on its own. It modifies the sentence, not just a noun. The entire sentence is modified by the absolute phrase. So for example, his tail between his legs, the dog walked out the door. Okay, that's the phrase which you can use. Or picnic basket in hand, she set off for her date. Or like for a picnic, you can say, avoiding date then. All right, so these were the few examples of the phrases. Now we'll deal with the actual examples, which I can say like common phrases which you can use or which you hear often. I'll explain one by one what those are, how you can use it, how you can use the common phrases to ask someone how they are, or to say how you are, or how you can use a phrase to say you are thank you, or how you can use a phrase to respond to thank you, like what you should say, like if you don't want to say thank you, then what phrase you can use. Okay, or the common phrase to ask for information. If you want to ask some information, what you should say, I'll teach you that now itself. Or if you want to say I don't know, so if you don't want to say I don't know, then what else to say? Or if you're agreeing with someone, okay, so how you should say, how to use that phrase of agreement, or how to use a phrase for disagreement, or how to end a conversation politely. If you're reading a paragraph in an examination, and if it is written there, a phrase which is used to end the conversation, then you should know like what it is, what's used there. Okay, so you should be able to identify it, or how to say goodbye using common phrases for goodbyes. Okay, so starting with the very first example, common phrases to ask how someone is. So how someone is, how can you ask? We have so many options for it. So firstly, we have what's up, if you want to use. It is quite informal, and you are likely to receive an informal response as well. If you're saying what's up, then you are using it in an informal situation, not a formal situation. So number two is what's new. What's new? This is asking for an update on what's being happening since you last saw that person. तो उनकी लाइफ में क्या क्या हुआ, अगर तुम्हें जानकारी चाहिए ये वाली, तो you can answer what's new, what's going on, what's new in your life, likewise. Okay, so next one is how's it going, how's it going, how's it going? Okay, you might be wondering what it refers to. It refers to everything. Okay, how's it going? Everything, anything it can be. So the next one is how's everything? You can use how's everything as well. That's a common phrase to use. How's everything? Then the next one is how are things? How are things? That is very casual and very vague in general, but you can use it, or you can say how is life? Okay, how's life? Okay, so a slightly more formal one is how's life treating you? Over here I've written how's life treating you. Okay, you can, okay, excuse me for that line over there. Yeah, it's a line for me. So you can say, how's life treating you? You can ask this. It's a very common phrase to ask someone, to ask how someone is. Okay, so how's life treating you? Another one is, what have you been up to recently? What you have been up to recently? I hope you all are writing it down because I haven't wrote everything. So you should know better. Okay. So now let's talk about some common phrases. Most common one, like phrases to say how you are. Okay, so how you are, most common one. How you can say is, uh, I'm fine, thanks. How are you? Okay, so how you can identify this as a phrase in a sentence? It's a responsive statement. I'm fine, thanks. How are you? Okay, so then you can say, uh, if you are okay, not amazing, then you can say pretty good, something like that. Pretty good. If somebody is asking, how are you? You can say pretty good. Yeah. Short and sweet. Okay. So if nothing's changed, everything is just the same as usual, what you can say? Same as old, really. Same as old. Same as old, or same old, really. Okay, so if things aren't going well, then you can use the other one. So how you can say if things are really not going well with your end, what you can say? Not so great, really. Not so great, really. Or not so great. Okay, so, or you can say could be better. Could be better. Could be better. Okay, if somebody is saying, how are you? You can say, yeah, could be better. Likewise, it works like this. Or if everything's going very well, but you don't want to show off, so how you can say? You can say something that's like, that's, that goes as, can't complain. Can't complain. How are you? How things are? If somebody is asking that, so how you can say is everything. If everything is going just good, just great, just fine in your life, how can you respond? Can't complain. Can't complain. Okay, meaning others have it much worse than me. So I'm going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything negative about my own life. Okay. So like that. Can't complain. Everything is good. Can't complain. Okay, so now let's talk about some phrases that you can use when you want to say, okay, pretty good. We are pretty good with that. Now, when you have to say thank you, so common phrases for thank you are, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I have written it here. I really appreciate that, or I really appreciate it. Okay, depending on the context. Or another one is quite heartfelt. It is slightly more formal. You can use, I'm really grateful. If somebody is helping you, if somebody has helped you, so how you can respond? I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to receive your help. I'm very grateful for your help. Okay, so it goes like that. Okay, or I'm really very grateful. Okay, so moving on with grateful now, that's even more formal. If someone has shown you an act of kindness, you can say, that's so kind of you. That is so kind of you. So if you're saying, if somebody is helping you, then how you can respond? Oh, well, thanks. That's so kind of you. That is so kind of you. That is so kind of you. Okay, so this is how you can use this common phrase to say thank you. Okay, that's so kind of you. uh, or if you're going to return the favor somebody has done to you and somebody has helped you. Okay, so अगर तुम्हारी किसी फ्रेंड ने तुम्हें तुम्हारी कोई उसकी बुक दी है और तुम्हें उसको थैंक यू बोलना और तुम्हें ऐसा लग रहा है कि नहीं मुझे भी इसकी हेल्प करनी चाहिए ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, तो तुम कैसे बोलोगे इफ यू वांट टू रिटर्न द फेवर? हाउ कैन यू यूज अ फ्रेज ओवर हियर? If you want to imply that you are also going to return the favor, then you can say I owe you one. I-O-O-W-E. I-O-W-E. I owe you one. Okay, I owe you big time. Okay, means मैं भी तुम्हारा फेवर रिटर्न करूंगा अभी जो तुमने किया है मेरी हेल्प, I'll also return it back to you. Okay, so now let's talk about some common ways to respond to thank you. Okay, so how to respond if somebody is saying oh that's so nice of you, I'm so grateful, I'm really grateful to you, तो तुम क्या बोलोगे? कुछ नहीं बोलोगे, हम यहाँ से चले जाओगे, ऐसा होगा क्या? नहीं, you have to respond, right? So you should know how to respond. Okay, so here are a few phrases for it. So how you can say you're most welcome. You are most welcome over here. Okay, thank you so much for helping me, I'm grateful. So you can say you are most welcome. You are most welcome. Okay, I much prefer this to you're welcome, which I think is very overused. You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody says you're welcome. So okay, so there are many more words out there. There are many more phrases out there. So you should use them, like no worries. No worries. Okay, I've helped you. I know that, but no worries. Okay, that's fine. It goes like that. Okay, you know that you have helped. You know that. So how you can say no worries. Okay, now another one is one of my favorite. It goes as my pleasure. I use it. I use it very, very often. Very often. So anytime if I have to respond to if somebody saying thanks, then I say my pleasure. Okay. So or just short it down, you can just say pleasure. Or if you want to elaborate it, elongate it, so how you can say pleasure is all mine. Pleasure is all mine. Okay. That's very, very casual. Okay. So another thing is anytime. Thank you for helping me. Anytime, no problem. If somebody is saying, thank you for helping me, how you can respond? Anytime, no problem, no worries, likewise. So now we are moving on to some common phrases to ask for information. If you want to ask something, some information if you want to get, how can you ask? We'll learn that by the use of some phrases. Okay, so you can say, do you have any clue? Do you have any clue? Over here I've written, do you have any clue? Or do you have any idea? Okay, it is written over there in a paragraph. If it is written in a paragraph, do you have any clue? In a conversation, in a conversational paragraph. So you should be able to identify it's a common phrase used to ask for information. Okay, you're collecting some information over here. Do you have any clue? Do you have any idea? It goes like that. Okay, so those are interchangeable. Clues, ideas, they are interchangeable. So, for example, do you have any clue where the supermarket is? Okay, do you have any clue where the supermarket is? It's like you are asking for an information by using a phrase. Okay, or do you have any idea about the homework that we have got today? Okay, now moving on, this one's lovely. You wouldn't happen to know Mr. X, would you? You wouldn't happen to know something. Okay, you wouldn't happen to know. It can be anything. Mr. X, Miss X, anything. Would you? Okay, so how can you say? So you wouldn't happen to know about geometry, would you? You wouldn't happen to know about maths, do you? Or would you? Okay, it goes like that. Asking for an information by using a phrase. Okay. So another one is, I don't suppose you would know something. I don't suppose you would know Something can be anything. For example, I don't suppose you would know where the principal's cabin is. I don't suppose you would know where the principal's cabin is. Okay. All right. I hope you are with me. Okay. Now, and if people ask you for information and you don't know how to respond, you need to know the ways how to say, I don't know, right? If somebody is asking, if I'm asking you something and you don't know that, so how would you respond to me? Okay. So you should know the ways how to say, I don't know. So here are some common ways of saying that I don't know. Asking the information. Now we'll see the common phrases to say I don't know. So very easy. I have no idea. I have no idea. Sorry, I have no idea. Or I haven't got any clue. I haven't got any clue. I don't know. So they are very similar. And you will also hear people saying I haven't a clue. Short it down. I have no clue or I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue. Okay. It's even more interesting. The next one is I can't help you there. I can't help you there. Sorry, I can't help you there. Sorry, I don't know where the principal office is. I can't help you there. Okay, it goes like that. I can't help you there. Okay, or I'm not so sure. I am not so sure. I've been wondering, actually, I've been wondering the same thing, or I've been wondering too. This is the another way of saying, okay, like if somebody is saying, I want to go to admission office. Do you know where it is? Oh, I've been wondering too. I've been wondering the same. This is how you will respond. कि मुझे भी जानना है कि कहाँ है admission office. I too want to go there. So I've been wondering too. समझ में आया? I guess समझ में आया तुम्हें how to use I have been wondering the same thing. I've been wondering the same thing. मैं भी देख रहा हूँ कि कहाँ है admission office. It goes like that. I've been wondering too. All right, so let's talk about some common phrases for agreeing with people. Okay, if you are agreeing with someone, how to say it? You can say exactly. Exactly. Okay. I don't like rainy season. So we can say exactly. Neither do I. Exactly. I also don't like rainy season. So it goes like that. Another one is absolutely. If you're agreeing with someone and you have to use a phrase, then how you can say is absolutely, absolutely. That class was so interesting. Absolutely. That class was very interesting. It goes like that. Okay, so what you can use, another one which you can use is I love this one. I use it far too much, I think. So it's like agreeing it 100%. That is so true. That is so true. Like if you are saying oh, the net speed is so good in our college campus. Oh, that's so true. That is so true. That is so good. Okay, I agree with you. That is so true. The net is really fast in our college campus. So that's how you agree. Or if you completely agree, you can say with something. If you agree with something with someone, you can say, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Okay. I agree 100%. This journey was far too long. I agree 100%. This journey was far too long. I agree 100%. Okay, or I agree 100%. Or yeah, that's how you can use. Or you can say couldn't agree more. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Okay. These are some examples of common phrases for agreeing with someone. Now, what if you have to not agree with someone? Then what to say? If you're not agreeing with someone, then naturally you will need a few phrases for that them as well. But you need to disagree in quite polite way. Politely, you need to disagree. So what you can use? I'm not so sure about that. Okay. Would you like to attend physics class with me? I'm not so sure about that. That's how you can say, or in your uh, branch, whatever class is there, like suppose mechatronics. So do you want to agree? Do you want to attend that class with me? Oh, sorry, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that. That's how you can respond. So this is very important to say things politely. Uh, the next one is that's not how I see it. Okay, if somebody is saying, okay, so whatever it can be, example I can give you, that's not how I see it. Okay, so okay, the weather is great today. If somebody is saying the weather is great today, so how you can say no, that's not how I see it, I don't like it. That's how you can say. Okay, now I don't quite see it like that. That's okay. So, or else you can say not necessarily, or I can't really agree with you there. Over here, I have written, I can't really agree with you there. I'm not so sure about it. That's how you can say. Okay. All right, then. I can't really agree with you there. Now, the most difficult one is how to end the conversation politely. Now, you need some phrases to end the conversation politely. So, how you can say is, well, was nice chatting with you. Was nice chatting with you. Was nice talking with you. Okay. Or, right, I must be off now. Right, I must be off now. I must be leaving. So, this is how you can say politely that you are leaving or you want to leave if somebody is keep on talking. So that's how you can say, right, I need to get going. I need to go. I must be off now. Okay. So you can use well in starting, well, I must be off now, or right, I must be off now. So that's how a phrase start for ending a conversation politely. The last one is common phrases to say goodbye. So how you can say is speak to you soon. Okay. I will speak to you soon. Speak to you soon or speak soon. If you know there, like if we are going in like a bit more informal situation, if you know the family member, if you know like common friends over there, so how you can say is, um, send my greetings to them. Send my greetings to them. Okay, I'll talk to you later now. Send my greetings to them. Okay, that means you're not literally sending your greetings, but you are saying this in a politer way. Okay, so this is how you use common phrases to end your conversation. Speak to you soon. You take care now. Talk to you later, etc. There are many. So uh, now, if you have any doubt with our lesson, I'll end this lesson now over here. If you have any doubt, you can write it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask. Like we learned idioms and phrases today, types of idioms, what are the types of idioms and what are the types of phrases, how to use, what they mean, where to use them, and how to identify them. I have taught you there. Now, if you have no doubt, if you're good to go, then just say yes that you were with me all time and you understood whatever we learned today. I hope you did. I hope you all enjoyed the lesson. All right, so I'll end the lesson. Hello, is there anybody? Any doubt? Anyone? No? All right then. We'll end the session now. The session will be continued by Siley ma'am now. So don't leave the class and yeah, attend that class as well. In 2 minutes, the session will start. Siley ma'am's. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, good afternoon, students. I'll share my presentation. Okay, so today we are going to study analytical aptitude topic that's on logic deduction and induction. So first of all, let's understand. My screen visible to everyone? Yeah, it's visible. Okay. Okay. So first of all, we'll understand what do we mean by logic deductions and inductions. Okay. So this is a topic which comes under analytical aptitude, in which you have to so this is not a numerical type of question. It's a theoretical one. You have to write the correct answer depending upon the logic, and there are some statements and conclusions that are given over here. I hope you know the topic syllogisms. It's similar to that. So we also call it as reductions and inductions. Now, this is a phenomena of deriving a conclusion from a single preposition or a set of given propositions. So we have to come to some conclusion. So there will be 2 to 3 sentences that are given to you in the question, and then based on those questions, you will have to find the right answer, and accordingly, you will have to select the right conclusion. Okay. Now, deduction. What do you mean by deduction? So it is the idea first, followed by observations and a conclusion. So in deductions you have an idea, and then it's followed by observation and some conclusion. So yeah, so in deduction, first of all, there is an idea. That means first there will be some statements given to you, basis on which you have to understand what will be the conclusion, or what observations can be derived from that statement, and accordingly you'll have to take the correct answer. Then what do you mean by induction? In induction, observation will come first, and then the idea of explaining it. So this is just theory. When we come towards the question part, you will understand this topic in a more better manner. Now, two inferential processes of deduction. Now, there are two processes of deduction. First is immediate deductive inference. So what comes under immediate deductive inference? Here, conclusion is deduced from one of the given propositions by any of the 3 ways. So there are 3 ways on the basis of which you can do this. That's conversion, obversion, and contraposition. Now let's understand them one by one. Conversion. Conversion proceeds with interchanging the subject term and the predicate term. That is, the subject term of the premise becomes the predicate term of the conclusion, and so we'll go one by one. Okay, it's a very long sentence. The conversion proceeds. The conversion proceeds with interchanging the subject term and predicate term. Okay. Now what happens under this heading is you interchange the subject and the predicate. Okay, we very well know that in for every sentence there is always a subject, and the remaining portion is called as predicate. We have to interchange them, which means subject term of the premise will become the predicate. तो वही है कि subject और predicate को हम interchange करें देंगे, इतना ही उसका मतलब है. Second is the given proposition is called convertant, whereas the conclusion drawn from it is converse. मतलब जो proposition दिया है, that means the statements which will be given to you, they are called as convertant. Okay, they are called as convertant, and whereas the conclusions that you draw out of them is converse. Now, what are the valid conversions? So, see, convertant क्या है? जैसे statement दिया है, all S is P. First one you can see here, all S is P. Sorry, all S is P. Converse क्या है? Some P is yes. That means if all pins are tops, then the conclusion drawn may be some tops are pins. तो क्या हो गया? ये जो पहला है example, all pins are top. See, this one is a statement. Okay, तो आपको क्वेश्चन में स्टेटमेंट दिया जाएगा, देयर विल बी वन स्टेटमेंट गिवन टू यू एंड देयर विल बी कंक्लूजन. तो स्टेटमेंट दो तीन रह सकते हैं, उसको पढ़ना है, उसको समझ के वॉट एवर यू फील आफ्टर रीडिंग स्टेटमेंट, वॉट एवर यू फील, जो भी कंक्लूजन आपको लगता है, कंक्लूजन पे आने के लिए भी देयर आर सम रूल्स, वी विल स्टडी देम इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. So accordingly, you will find the conclusion, and that conclusion is called as converse. Okay, conclusion is called as converse. Now, no fish is well, no well is fish. Same वही. तो अगर अभी इसको कैसे लिखता है, I'll tell you. All S is P, मतलब सारे जो S है वो क्या है, P है. We write it like this. All S are P. Conclusion drawn from this is some P is yes. Some P is S मतलब ऐसे होता है. There is an there is a common portion in between. Some जब आता है तो there is a common portion in between. So this and this do not match. So this is a valid conversion example. Okay. ऐसे ही बाकी के भी है. So we'll understand them in a better manner when we come to actual questions. Now second type is obversion. Obversion means we change the quality of the proposition and replace the predicate term by its complement. That means if the operand is all birds are mammals, the obverse will be no birds are non-mammals. मतलब हमने क्या कर दिया, predicate को change कर दिया और उसका complement लिख दिया. All birds are mammals. Now, will all birds become mammals? No. तो इसका mammals को हमने non-mammals कर दिया. We just changed it. We changed all to no and mammals to non-mammals. That means we are replacing the predicate term. We are replacing the predicate term with its complement. Okay. That is replacing the predicate term with its complement is obversion. Next is contraposition. So contraposition में कैसे करेंगे? To obtain the contrapositive of a statement, we first replace the subject and predicate terms in the proposition and then exchange both these terms with their complements. That means अभी extra contraposition statements में क्या होगा? We'll replace the subject and predicate terms. We will replace the subject and predicate and then we will exchange both these terms with their complement. ये सब changes हम किस में करेंगे? Statements में करेंगे. Okay. So see, all birds are mammals. तो क्या कर दिया? All non-mammals are non-birds. That means we interchange these two and we also fed the complement of it. Mammals लिखा था तो non-mammals कर दिया, birds लिखा था तो non-birds कर दिया. That means we are putting on complement word for the same. Then mediate deductive inference, matlab syllogism. So it is a deductive argument in which conclusion has to be drawn from two propositions referred to as the premises. So ये statements दिए रहते हैं, all lotus, these all are statements and they are also called as propositions or they are also called as premises. So there are various terms for it. Propositions. Excuse me for my bad handwriting. I'll write it in short.